Hey, what's going on everyone? I'm the OPJellicent and we are battling for week number 9 of season number 7 of the WPL, up against LatiosAzurill and the Philadelphia Froakies. He's actually been in the league with me since season number 3, so that's definitely very cool. We've battled a few times. I believe I am 3-1 against Latios coming into this match right here, so should definitely be an interesting time. Similarly to Jake, who we faced a few weeks ago, he actually has sort of like a semi-stall team, but he also has a lot more offensive threats like the Mimikyu and the Mamoswine and the Magnezone, for example, which all decided to show up, of course, so that's definitely something that I had to take into consideration too. So the way I built this team was, I had a ton of like Pokemon that could break through all this bulk, like SD Cobalion, and then we also have some stuff that can check all the offensive mons, like Belliedra Magmortar is definitely something that can do that. Our Tornadus T right here with the Darkinium Z for the Slowbro, and the Jirachi, as well as Taunt just to maybe shut down like Chansey from Soft Boiling and the knockoff. That could definitely be very good right here too. Then we actually have a Raikou right here, which is actually just running a 4 attack set with leftovers. Actually, it's 3 attacks leftovers with Substitute. And then we actually have Aura Sphere, which is able to dent the Magnezone pretty hard. I definitely wanted coverage for that. And Aura Sphere is also able to go ahead and hit the Mamoswine. So after we scout its set, find out whether it's Assault Vest, we can go ahead and knock that out with Aura Sphere too. Then we have a Mega Deontay right here, which is just running a Rock Polish 3 attack set. Definitely shut down by the Chansey, but if Chansey does come out, we can go ahead and get a Stealth Rocks on it. The Cobalion right here is actually a Dual Dance Cobalion with Fightinium Z. I actually made a mistake during prep and decided to bring 2 Z-move users, but that's definitely something we had to take into consideration as well. I did realize it before the match, of course, at team preview, but I was actually pretty upset with the Cobalion set that I bring, because the team that he brought would have actually been really weak to like an SD3 attacks Cobalion with like a ZX Scissor, because obviously I could hit the Slowbro with that and everything else is just hit by close combat and the Iron Head. But unfortunately I decided to go ahead and bring a Rock Polish Swords Dance, and it's definitely a set that isn't really going to get to work out here until I get rid of the Slowbro, but we have ways to get rid of Slowbro between Belliedra Magmortar pressuring it, as well as my Darkinium Z on Tornadus for sure. So hopefully that can go ahead and put in some work. And then finally right here we have a Fizdef Cofagrigus, which is pretty much my main Mamoswine switch, and we can take any sort of like a Banded Earthquake. We can take 2 of those, and we have leftovers on that thing, so that's definitely very cool, because my team doesn't really switch into Mamoswine at all, and I was kind of expecting like an Adamant Scarf variant, so I really decided that Cofagrigus right here with the defensive spread could really help us out. So let's just go ahead and hop into the match. So I decided to lead off here with my Cofagrigus, just really expecting the Mamoswine lead, because it does super well against everything, but he actually opts to lead off here with his Magnezone. Now, if he has modest specs, he can actually OHKO me with a Thunderbolt, and I really don't want to risk that right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and switch out into my Raikou. We're not AV, so he decides to go right here for the Volt Switch, and based on that damage, I know he's choice specs, but I actually don't know whether he's modest or timid, because he got a roll that could do both. And I'm just going to go right back into my Cofag right here to take the Icicle Crash incoming, which is really great. And he actually shows Life Orb, so he's actually not Scarf, which definitely makes this a lot less of a threat, as he's just going to go right here for the knockoff. I just had to go for a knockoff of my own just to get rid of the Life Orb, kind of make it do a little bit less damage, but he's just going to go ahead and knock me out. And losing Cofagrigus definitely kind of sucks, because it was a really great response to the Jirachi too, because if he Iron Heads me, I can go ahead and get rid of his Serene Grace and replace it with Mummy, so losing my ability right there, well, losing my Cofagrigus right there is definitely very big, but I can go ahead and bring in my Deontay to revenge kill it. I know it's not AV, and I decided to go ahead and make the safe Moonblast play right here, as he goes out into the Chanseys, and as I said, I can just go ahead and throw up rocks if he decides to bring out Chansey on this, and that Seismic Taunt does a lot, because Mega Deontay's HP is not very high, as he's actually just going to go ahead and Soft Boiled right here on my knockoff. I found that very interesting, because I don't really see why you want to lose your Violite, but now I'm going to go ahead and switch out into my Cobalion on another S-Toss, and this is what I was talking about. If I had SDX Scissor, I could actually just go in right now by SDing up and clicking ZX Scissor on the incoming Slowbro right here, but I actually decided to go ahead and double out on the incoming Slowbro instead, because I don't have the X Scissor, and it's a super obvious switch, so unfortunately that's not really going to work out for me. Decided to go for the sub right here, but the best thing I have to hit this Chansey with is Aura Sphere, so I'm just going to go ahead and dent it down a little, go right here for the Aura Sphere, as he's going to go ahead and break my sub with the S-Toss right here. So this is pretty bad. I'm definitely getting pretty worn down, but I decided to go into my Cobalion on what I know is going to be a soft boiled. And right here, I actually decided to double out into my Tornadus, as he makes kind of a mid-ground play right here and goes out into the Jirachi. So, as I said, I have a Darkinium Z. I was kind of debating on whether I wanted to preserve it for Slowbro or not, but if he has Choice Scarf for Jirachi, I really don't want that being a win condition late game, because it can definitely do some work, so I decided to just go ahead and burn it right here, as he's going to go for the Heart Stamp, and I somehow end up breaking through, and I'm able to go ahead and fire off my Darkinium Z Black Hole Eclipse. be able to knock out that Jirachi right there, and now I don't have to worry about getting flinched down late game, which is definitely very cool. And then I decided to just go ahead and sack off my Torn, because it can't really do much against like Mamoswine. He can just Ice Shard me, and I decided to go ahead and take the damage with HP Ground, which is actually very cool. It puts that Magnezone into range of my Aura Sphere from my Raikou, which is definitely very cool. And if I can get rid of the Chansey, I can actually just click Moonblast with my Mega Deontay at this point too. So out comes the Mamoswine. I know Chansey's a very free switch for him, but I feel like he might just hope I double right here and go off a choke. So decided to just go ahead and make the safe Aura Sphere play, as he does go for the Ice Shard right here. Just takes his chip damage, as Aura Sphere is going to be able to knock that thing out. So we get that right, and he doesn't go out into the Chansey, which is cool. Chansey comes out now, of course, as I'm just going to go for the Aura Sphere right here, because what I'm trying to do is I have to try to set up my Belly Drum Magmortar and Oko through this thing, because if I can Oko this, my Raikou pretty much cleans up the game with Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, and Aura Sphere. So priority right here is to get rid of the Chansey and break the Mimikyu's disguise, and I'll be put in a really good spot. So I'm going to let him Seismic Toss me once, and now that I know he's going to Soft Boiled, I'm going to go ahead and pull that Magmortar switch right here, and go ahead and hit him up with that Belly Drum right now. I don't think he was expecting this at all. And because we have the even HP stat right here, I'm actually going to be able to go ahead and get my berry back. And now I can just go ahead and go for the return. Had he got down to the Mimikyu right there, that actually could have been really bad for me, but I really didn't see him risking it right there, as he's going to go ahead and Swords Dance right here. Kind of works out the same way, because I go for the Flame Charge. Had he attacked me, he could have actually preserved his disguise, but unfortunately for him, he's not going to be able to do that. I just go out into Cobalion now, go for the Iron Head. Crit does not matter, I'm able to knock that out. And pretty much, I guess if he's Calm Mind, Iron Defense, Slowbro right here, I kind of just lose the game, because I won't be able to break through it with Cobalion, and if he starts to Calm Mind up a lot, Raikou won't be able to beat it either. But I decided to go ahead and just start to SD up right here, because if he is Calm Mind, then I actually need to be able to SD up as many times as I can to pressure him with Close Combat. I go for Close Combat here, doesn't do a ton at all, but he actually just goes right for the Psychic to knock me out, and that means I can just go ahead and bring in Raikou and seal up the deal right here with a Thunderbolt into an Aura Sphere into the Magnezone. So we know it specs Magnezone, and it won't be able to outspeed me right here. I'll just go right for the Aura Sphere, and that is going to be a good game. So we were able to go ahead and pick up the win. Definitely got pretty scary early game right here after losing my Cofagrigus. Definitely also me breaking through with my Tornadus against the Jirachi was very big, but he would have needed to flinch me down all the way, because had I broke through, I'm assuming he would have gone Magnezone anyway, and then I could have just made the same HP ground play regardless. So definitely worked out in the end right there. We were able to go ahead and pick up the win. That puts us up at 7-2, and it actually turns out a lot of the 6-2 teams actually lost this week. I believe Spanik lost his game against Matt. I don't remember that specifically, but yeah, I believe we're actually definitely up in the rankings right there with, I believe, there are 2 other 7-2 teams and then 6-3 teams ahead. So that's definitely very cool right there. And yeah, we're definitely moving forward right here. So I did hope you guys enjoyed. That puts us up at 4-1 against LatiosAzurill, and I'll see you all next time. Later.